Hey guys, cheers. Busy, busy, busy. I don't know if you guys are out Christmas shopping yet. Hopefully I'll get you some Bitcoin so you can get some Christmas shopping in. Got a little haircut. Got them all cut, they say. So it's actually my spring or summer cut, and here it is winter. Okay, here we go. Let me get the chat open. And let me manage participants, mute all, won't allow you to unmute, and then let's share the screen and go out to the markets. Holy bananas, Batman. I'll talk a little bit about this program or this portal. My good buddy Vitaly, 90,000 members. It basically automatically markets USI and BitConnect, Bitcoin's Wealth Club. So get with me afterwards on this one. It's an amazing funnel system. Once you get rolling in Bitcoin X4, then it's all about scaling up, building long-term wealth in Bitcoin. And when you look at these charts, this is what long-term wealth is all about, folks. I was reading some CNBC and Forbes and Bloomberg, and they're all yada, yada, yada. It's a big bubble because they don't, they're just any unknowns in the financial markets is a bubble. And when you look at this, yeah, it certainly looks like a bubble, right? What did it come up? It came up $7,400 this week. A little bit exuberant for. Would have much rather seen it come up around maybe 14 and kind of float for a little bit. Up 10,000 in the last month. Let's see what happened in the last hour. Down almost $300. It's like, oh my God, it's down $300. What did it do in one day? Oh, 3,000. Okay, I can relax now. Yeah, anyone that has ever done any trading at all, for me, I freaking hate it, to be honest with you. I don't like to lose money at all. You can see here the coin market cap. I go just to look at the markets. They have it at 18.2, and Coinbase has it at 17.3. There's a $900 spread right now, so there's a lot of money being made right now. Most of it is just because of great fundamentals, ICO launch. The exchange trade fund is coming online. Future markets are happening. Everyone's buying up Bitcoin, and there's only 22 million tokens on the planet Earth. There's only about 17, 18 million that's mined. The other 4 or 5 million is still sitting on the servers, ready to be computated and discovered and awarded as miner fees. Old Nakamoto, he had the finger on the pulse when it came to this. Of course, since we started this meeting, it just dropped almost $700. You can see here we just had a drop of about $700 just in the last 20 minutes. So the market may have seen its top. Let's put it that way. Let's go out here and look at the current market. With this chart is a little bit better in terms of volume. Enormous amount of volume on the buy here. This is typically people that finally realize that Bitcoin is hot. These are all the people that are just buying it because they just heard of it. And this chart is prone for a correction. Let's look at the 1 month. Prone for correction means it's just going up too high, too quick, too fast, and there is a lot of volume coming into the market. But like I said, the volume is people that are just trying to get in the game, right? Buy high, and they're going to be selling low. So it's hard to say. One expert from Stansberry Research or one of the research firms said it could go to 24,000 by next year. So we have some upside, right? Here's the 24,000 mark, and it shows that maybe it's touched it, but it didn't get that quite high. But right here. So anyway, we'll start our presentation here shortly. I just wanted to. I always try to look at the markets, and once again with CoinMarket, you can also look at CoinMarketCap.com. You can look at all the other tokens that are hopping and popping. Bitcoin Cash is kind of coughing and wheezing. They said that would go up to about 16, 18 in this climate. It's actually going down. It's really the hard fork version of Bitcoin that tried to make smaller data packs, and no one cares. Bitcoin is just globally known, and everyone just deals with the data packs. Right now, the blockchain is 140,000 unconfirmed transactions. You can look at, say, blockchain unconfirmed transactions. This is the current status right now. All right, that's almost the highest I've ever seen it. So we're at 206,000 unconfirmed transactions right now in the market. So there's a lot of, and it even says, oh, the Google Maps didn't load. Who cares? But a lot of congestion. And part of the hard forking is trying to get those data packs down to where we can get these transactions confirmed quicker. It's very hard in the Bitcoin market to try to confirm transactions with large data blocks. Data blocks are just computations that need to be made with big servers to figure out and confirm through the digital ledger of what's going on. So if you've set your Bitcoin through, if you use Coinbase, I think Coinbase was down yesterday, and it goes down periodically because there's such a tremendous amount of volume. Your transactions can take up to a day to get to your destination. Even though I use primarily I use an Exodus wallet and a couple others, but it's pretty quick. When you guys get your Bitcoin paid out, cha-ching, it gets in your wallet pretty quick. The reason why we recommend Coinbase, though, is it's very functional in terms of getting registered if you're a newbie and be able to buy Bitcoin, right? Either that or you have to go get raped on the open market when you try to go buy Bitcoin, especially at these premium prices. Coinbase, you can set it up, get verified, put your credit card in, buy Bitcoin. Sometimes it can take 3 to 5 to 7 days to get verified to buy, even though I heard it's instant. I haven't bought Bitcoin in a couple of years. All I do is make it and spend it. But I feel the pain of folks wanting to buy into this market. It's very tough right now with limited supply, unconfirmed transactions. Okay, let me crack out of here. So start the presentation here. Precious, I'm unable to hear you guys. My audio is out for some reason. Yeah, it's your phone, it's your computer. If you're dialing in from overseas, it looks like you're coming in from Nigeria. About 100 people tonight, not bad. We only had about 80 people registered, so I sent out a quick 2-hour reminder, and then all the nights in the chat are doing good by reminding people. So overall, it's running pretty smooth, and there's a lot of money to be made. We're not going anywhere. I may be talking a little bit towards the end just in terms of figuring out how to just make things run a little bit more efficiently. I am 2 to 3 days behind on everything. Messages, board links, cycle assurances, payouts, the whole 9 yards. 48 to 72 hours. So it isn't that bad because when I finally get to you, it's Christmas. Probably sent close to $4,000 in Bitcoin just in the last 3 hours to members. And people that had, one gal had 7 boards. And what I'm doing, I'll talk more about it in the end. I do a couple things when boards refresh and they cycle assure. I either take the spot out and put it into another spot so it ages a little bit more appropriately, or I'll just redate it. And now I'm starting to date your spots on your board. So when you get a board link, it's 12.5, 12.6, 12.7. So not only do you still have to, pull your hair out like I do, because I'm almost lost on my hair, by managing your board links, but each board link, when you click on it, you look at the board, you look at your space, and even on your name now, there's a little date. And that's still not gospel or still not the truth per se. It's still just a marker, meaning that when you come in to me and say, hey, I'm up for 15-day, 30-day, or whatever, You don't just send me, you know, a date. You know, dates are fairly irrelevant in terms of trying to at least prove through chat or hash that you've paid. All right, so anyone that's coming in and that's not a member yet, you're probably talking a lot of mumbo jumbo. For anyone that's thinking about joining, this is probably the most simplest program you'll ever be involved with. The only complicated part is waiting. Waiting to get in, waiting to get your board link, waiting to get your referral link, waiting to get to chat, waiting to talk to somebody, waiting to make money. It's all waiting, right? They say, you know, life is hurry up and wait. And anything that you really get of value in life, you either have to work your butt off and earn it, or you have to kind of wait for it. Then when it finally comes, it's much sweeter, right? Because anything easy, beware, because you get relaxed and off guard, and typically you lose it. A lot of lottery millionaires are dead broke. A lot of millionaires are dead broke. Mike Tyson being one. But you know, the list goes on and on. So I digress. All right, so I'm going to jump into the presentation. I'll get an opportunity to introduce the program, myself, some of the things that are going on. But overall, most of the folks probably on here are already members, and you're kind of probably wondering, is Robert still alive? Is the program still around? Have I lost all my Bitcoin? Well, I'm alive. The program's still here, and you haven't lost anything. And if you play your cards right, 2018 could be the best year of your life, right? And by thinking that is the first step. Now let's get busy and make it a reality. You must believe before you achieve. Mind's very powerful. If you think, yeah, I'm gonna try it, I guess. How's that worked out for you, right? But when you knew you had to do something, you had to get your college degree, you had to get a job, you had to do something, or crap was going to hit the fan. That's when finally the essence inside you, whatever's energy is making you right now awake listening to me, and what makes you get up in the morning and go to sleep and do what you do, that's when something inside you, right? If you can figure that out and leverage it, and that's what we try to do here. We try to get you focused, and we try to make you relax, because okay, now I can finally make money. I'm at a great place, great team. Now I'm going to start building relationships, and all of a sudden you get to that point where you have been in other parts of your life, but you're more in control, because when you get into a bad situation in your life, you've pulled yourself out pretty much, right? Because there's something inside you of immense power that can, everyone has special powers, right? And then, but oftentimes they get clouded by all the problems that we get and all the other stuff. So we're going to hope that we can crack out of the clouds, right, and start bringing some sunshine and love into people's lives. Try to make it a super holiday season. I'm going to probably be talking towards the end, Christmas, New Year's. I got my kids coming in. I don't know if I'm going to be working 15 hours a day, just so you know. But in the background, your positions are still earning and churning. And I'm going to get a little bit more systematic in terms of lists, time, date, stamp. Okay, so these people now are up, cycle assured, paid. You know what I mean? It's going to be more where you're just like not wondering and waiting and wondering constantly. Where's Robert? Where's my money? Where's my link? Where's anything? What is this program? I want to go back to the program I can log into and look at my back office and refresh my matrix every 2 seconds. See if I made some money. And I'm going to go spam Facebook. Woo! All right. I've only had one drink, and I'm a little, you know, watch me. I'm going to get a little crazy. All right, so let's get started. Let me, just disabling. I think we finally got rid of the person that we brought it up 9 times, that whoever would draw on my screen while I'm talking. So welcome to the Unified Bitcoin Team's Bitcoin X4 presentation. Many of you have been members for quite some time now. Maybe it's the first time you've been here, so welcome to all the people. This is the first time, and welcome to all members, hardcore members, I call them. Right? You've been through the battle, and we're going to be winning the war here. So the Bitcoin X4 system, it really just it puts together and applies market-proven methods of crowdfunding, Bitcoin donations, member-to-member payments, and we do marry in the power of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. You now can begin to send Ethereum or Litecoin if you want, even though I think we're going to just kind of stick with Bitcoin because it's just so crazy right now in terms of asset appreciation. And we apply team system leverage, because what you'll find is that in order to turn a small amount of Bitcoin into a large amount of Bitcoin in a short period of time, the only way to do it is through a team system, right? And leverage in order to get you and everyone to raise Bitcoin funds quicker and faster, so you can get into the market. You can buy other cryptos. You can get into other programs. You can just make your Bitcoin work instead of just having it sit in a wallet, even though you're making great money just having it sit in your wallet. Quick introduction of myself: 30 years sales and marketing experience, MBA graduate, 16 years prior to my full-time online. I was 16 years in the payment software business, helping major corporations automate payments over the internet, mostly through the banking system. Helped many of the largest companies automate their payments and invoicing through electronic commerce and through the internet. Been in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency a little over 3 years now. I often joke it's like dog years, right? It's 21 years, it seems like. And I wish I had gotten in a little sooner, but being in this business for over 3 years in the Bitcoin crypto space, I've seen quite a bit. And it's still so new. It's going to be around for your life, your kids' life, your kids' life, your kids' life, their kids' lives. Until the planet no longer is a planet and the internet doesn't run, which will not be a reality unless we get crazy and have a big nuclear war. But who knows? I think we all want to live and have peace. Ultimately, it's a big power struggle right now globally. It always has been and always will be. Part of why I like Bitcoin so much is that it levels the playing field. It's a decentralized payment network. And, what the heck is Bitcoin? And really, at the end of the day, it's three biggies when it comes to currency and digital and assets and a payment network. So at its core, it's a digital asset. An asset meaning that it appreciates in value over time, much like real estate could, gold, silver, things of that nature. So it's a true asset. It really became a true asset. And Mark Cuban calls it a collectible. Warren Buffett says that also it's just more of something that you can own. Sure, you can make some money, but he's not really interested in it. And but it doesn't preclude the fact that it's taken the global, the whole world by storm. And you want to be involved. You don't want your ego in the way of this train at the end of the day. The ego can really be a big problem in most of your success in life. When you drop the ego and you go out for the sole purpose of helping other people and solve problems, then your life becomes a beautiful thing. When it's all about you, then life can be a struggle for a very, very long time until you flip the switch. And I'll talk more about that a little bit later. But Bitcoin, first of all, it's a digital asset. It's going up in value. Secondly, it's a currency now, right? It used to be, it wasn't quite a currency. Now it pretty much has flipped into the currency bucket. That's why the price is going up so much. It's those two biggies. It's the digital assets of asset appreciation and a currency, exchanging of value between products and services, so you can use Bitcoin to buy stuff, right? It's getting easier and easier to use Bitcoin to buy stuff. And exchange it globally as a form of currency that's recognized in every country throughout the whole planet, right? And the last thing, which is the kicker, it comes with its own payment network. It doesn't need any other banking network or any other type of network to run. It runs on the blockchain network. Even though as the meeting started, I showed you we have 204,000 unconfirmed transactions on the blockchain. Where they're sitting right now, they're trying to get validated with miners. And there's such an immense amount of transactions the miners have to do through their computers and graphic cards and their big server farms, as far as the eye can see, in refrigerated rooms, are in real time doing trillions of transactions, unlocking the transaction, putting it on the digital ledger, and then getting awarded miner fees. they get a little bit of Bitcoin each time they do it. And all it really means to us is that we have this really cool way now to pay each other globally, instantly over the internet, and make a bunch of money while helping others. I have banks here because we still need them to cash out, right? At the end of the day, Bitcoin still needs to be converted into your local currency to transact and buy stuff that doesn't accept Bitcoin yet. Even though the more and more you see it, Bitcoin's being accepted pretty much everywhere, especially if you convert it to a Visa or debit card. I use BitPay. There's lots of others now coming online where you can just swipe your card. So everywhere I go, I just fund my BitPay card, and I can pretty much go, hotels, restaurants, vacations, the whole 9 yards. You can buy Ferraris and Lamborghinis now. You can even buy real estate and houses and Subway sandwiches, and soon Amazon.com may be taking Bitcoin. So it's a beautiful thing. So with Bitcoin X4, like I said, it applies this market-proven methods of crowdfunding, which is helping either individuals or businesses to raise funds by getting together and going and using each other's funds to help each other. And really, when it comes down to it's donations, it's payments, but it also layers in a real simplistic 2x2 board system, which is a very proven way to distribute products, services, money, what have you, between the participants of a particular plan. And when we just basically leverage all these things together, and that's really what we have here. Now, why did I create it? Well, out of necessity becomes invention. I've been online, making money and building teams for ever since they turned the internet on, right? We used to dial up, and that's been 18 years ago now, or something like that. So, and over the last few years, though, a lot of the Bitcoin programs, fly-by-night programs, matrix programs, it's a mess. And there was, fairly recently, there's some matrices and Bitcoin matrices where, I would go and build, 2x2s and 2x3s and things where I could turn $200 into $14,000, and I did it a couple times within a few weeks. Problem was 400 or 500 people that I had to bring into the business. Out of 500 people, 482 made nothing, and I made 14,000. So it was complete disconnect. And so we also, really my whole career has been solving these two biggies. And you can read them here for yourself, and I'm sure you can relate to one or both. But these are the two biggest problems in really most people's life when they come online to make money. They don't really have money, or at least enough money to get rolling to make money. And they don't really know how to recruit or sponsor. So these are two big problems. But at the end of the day, what we do here is solve those two biggest problems. And I've been pretty much my life's mission online and building teams have been, let me stop the slides real quick, come out and let me get you some eye to eye, because sometimes PowerPoint, you're just like, you can nod off, right? Show me the money. And let's talk about money, right? Because, problem number one is it takes a lot of money to make money, or a lot of effort. And it's kind of like a universal law, like water is wet, gravity sucks, and you got to have money to make money. If you don't have money, you can think about it and say, okay, let's imagine you don't have any money. How would you get money? The first thing that you think of is, I'm going to go get a job that will pay me money, then I'll have money, then I can make money. Or I can try to get something together and I can sell it for money so I can have money so I can make money. You see what I'm saying? No matter what it is. Now, if you say, well, I'll just go down the street, knock on the doors and offer to clean people's yards, mow their lawn for 20, 30, 40 bucks, and I'll do about 4 or 5 houses if they don't think I'm a stalker or a freak. And they let me do it and they pay me and I make $100 a day or something, helping mowing lawns. So yeah, I'm making money. And so now I have some money. Now let's go make some money. Now that's just the whole trying to make money with money, right? And if you don't have money, it's very hard to just get a better life going for you and for your family and for anyone. Because for what it's worth, the entire globe runs on some type of currency or money exchange of products and services and value. And nothing happens unless something is sold, period, right? Someone's always selling something to somebody. You're either buying or you're selling. And that's commerce. That's the flow of cash. And guess what? The big flow right now is Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin flows, it flows towards value. It comes from value, it flows to value, just like money does. So if you have some Bitcoin and you send some Bitcoin, you're either joining a program to try to create some more value, or you're giving it to somebody to help them to create value, or you're sending it, you know what I'm saying? So you're creating value with money. So it does take money to make money. Especially if you don't have any money to make more money, you need to start with money and leverage it up. The other big thing, like I just said, nothing happens unless something is sold. So what happens is when you finally got a little bit of money and say, okay, I have $100 burning a hole in my pocket. I'm going to come online and go to Facebook, or I'm going to check my email, and I'm going to check out this program, this new affiliate program that's launching. And I'm going to try to make some money. I have $100. And then, oops, I joined this program. A week later, you lose your $100. And you go back to your job, and then a week later, say, I'm going to try it one more time, and then you run this like a hamster on a wheel, right? So you spend the next 2, 3, 4 years, and losing all your money. And then, worst comes to worst, you have no family, you have no friends, and, your whole, so that's all that. So it's time now to change your life to the better. So now you finally got a little bit of money, you come online. Statistics show that most people that come online to make money, they have like $100 to spare. So first of all, you need to work with, and this is what was figuring out from 15 years ago. I'm going to say, okay, these are the two biggest problems. No one has any money, but they want to make money, and no one really knows how to recruit or sponsor. Because when you finally kind of figure out, okay, now you convinced me, I know it's pretty obvious, I'm going to need some money to make money, and I want to make money, so how do I do it? When you come online, 80 to 90% of people don't really like the whole selling and marketing aspects. And the only way to make money online is to sell or market something. So 80 to 90% doesn't really like the sales and marketing, but the only way to make money is with sales and marketing. Pretty big problem, right? And 80, 90%. And so when you walk into a store and someone says, can I help you? You're like, no, I'm just looking, right? Because you don't want to be sold, or you're afraid you're going to buy something, right? So no one likes to be sold, but everyone loves to buy, and bingo. So if you can switch your mindset around, okay, so sales and marketing, all sales and marketing is building relationship, inviting people in, sharing, right? Your program, a better way of life. And the more that you share and care and invite, the more people come in, and then the more we get together as a team, the Unified Bitcoin team and Bitcoin X4. This is all relative, by the way. This is why I created this program, to solve the two biggest problems online right now. No one has any money, and no one really knows how to recruit or sponsor. And the only way to make money is to have both of those problems solved. Otherwise, you're going to chase your tail for the rest of your life and work at a job you don't like. Not a very very cool trade-off, right? So we all, are working and churning and working for the man in the cube or wherever you work, waiting for the weekend, waiting for Friday, waiting for your paycheck so you can pay all your bills, and then wait for another 2 weeks for your next paycheck. We got to get out of that. The only way to get out of that is, first of all, know that's an issue, and then take systematic steps to pull out. And this is where the pull out begins. The Bitcoin X4 program is the beginning. So what we show you here is we begin to show you how easy it is when you have a really cool program that's effective and working for people. All you do is just share it and get out of your own way. And then you don't have to be a big sales and marketing guru in order to achieve success. But at the same time, you are still selling and marketing just a better way of life. You're sharing and inviting that better way. Does that make sense? As opposed to spamming Facebook or sending people links in their inbox and getting in Facebook jail and never really building relationships with anybody. And another biggie, which I'll hit on a little bit later, is the whole mindset of it's not eventually, initially, I was going to say is initially, it really is kind of about you initially, because you have to understand the only way to change your life is you. And no one else is going to be doing it for you, right? No one's going to knock on your door and say, here's your paycheck for life, right? Because we like you. No. Right? And your mom and your dad, God bless them, and hope, peace to all that. But, they're not going to, pay your bills for you. So it's time to, first of all, you have to take ownership and to become personally responsible, right, for your destiny. And then there's a switch that happens. As soon as you begin to fulfill what you need for your basic needs, food, shelter, having your bills paid, you now make this shift. And this is when you hit the big time, which means freedom. you come from a source of wanting just to help yourself to then helping others. And then when that switch happens, and all you're doing when you're helping others is finding other people just like you that have need for more Bitcoin, they're everywhere. And we give you the tools and the training and the systems to go out and share and invite, and then eventually you build a network so you can leverage a small amount of Bitcoin into a large amount of Bitcoin, and then take that into other long-term programs that we'll hit on. Okay, let me go back to the slides. I have a few more biggies coming. So we solved those problems. Now the other thing, what makes this so unique, right? Well, we solved the biggies when, most programs out there run Bitcoin programs that you can make a ton of money if you do it right, and you can build a great income and a great team around. Most of them do run on matrices. USI Tech, one of the hottest programs right now. They have an internal matrix, plus you can buy Bitcoin packs. You make your 1% a day, 5 days a week, 140% back on your Bitcoin purchase packs. And every referral, you get referral commissions. It's a matrix. But there's a lot of problems with matrices. And, I'll go over those problems. BitConnect is more of a referral, unilevel commission-based when you refer people in. And we were also doing Mint Builder, which you can buy collectible gold and silver with Bitcoin and get paid in Bitcoin, which is a binary compensation, which is a matrix. Binary is a matrix. Another program is the Mindset 24 Global that we did a little bit, which is more of a pass-up, one-up system. You remember those pass-ups and one-ups. They can be very lucrative. The problem is with those, though, you do have to sponsor quite a bit and hope that your team sponsors quite a bit so you can get pass-ups. But most programs run on these matrices online, and all the programs launching online, get into the next hot Bitcoin launch. It's a 2x3, 4x5, 6x8, whatever. All matrices eventually fail. I think one of the biggest is that it just gets too wide. You need too many people for everyone to get paid. There's not an even distribution of the money in the system. People at the top make the money, everyone else loses. And at the same time, the matrix gets too wide and it can't feed itself and it implodes. It gets imbalance. There's an improper follow me function. We really solve all these problems because really what we do is we override. I don't know if you ever worked in the computer business or the automotive airplane. You override the system, meaning anytime there's an issue with any automation, that's where humans come involved. They can override the system, meaning they can go in and fix the problems in real time. And that's exactly what I do with the Bitcoin X4 and the 2x2 board system. I look in and I look at these problems and I solve them every day, 15 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's why we have 1,500 members in our program making money. And some of them made a lot of money just in the last 5 or 6 weeks. And here's why they fail. The matrices get too wide too fast. I hit on that quite a bit, but at the end of the day, you have too many people down here that need more people below them, and it goes exponential. Eventually, it just collapses. It can't bring in enough people. The only way that this is solved, right, is to have a really solid product that people are rebuying, whether it's auto shipped or buying more Bitcoin packages or reinvesting into the boards, that these things live longer because the money is continually circulating and you don't need a ton of people below you to make money. But most matrices fail in this regard. You also notice a lot of the matrices have all the money at the bottom levels. You know why? Because no one can qualify for the bottom levels. No one gets paid and the admin makes all the money. That's why. With here, there is no levels, and you get paid a certain percentage per level. And then when you get down to the 8th level, you make 20 Bitcoin. And guess what? No one ever makes it to the 8th level. They're jumped to the next launch in the next hour, next day. There's also runaway legs, big problem in matrices, right? Any type of matrix. You come in, the matrix launches, it's a 2x8, 3x8, 4x6, whatever it is. You're up here up at the top with your buddies. And then the company launches, and then there's 20,000 people that join. Well, guess what? You and your buddies were over here. You didn't sponsor that many people, and some guru came in and sponsored, the first 1,000 people out of the gate, and it blew by you. All the matrix and all the people are down here, and there's no way to get those people over to you to get paid. Once again, with our system, it's just a 2x2 board system. It just stays in parallel with each other. There is no runaway legs. There's no getting too wide. And the final thing is, with these 2x2 follow me systems out there, there's a few. It's flawed in the sense that the guy or gal that really sponsors is here, right? And what they do is when they get these folks in and underneath them, they cycle out, they get paid. They start a whole new board. And the only way, and this is you, for instance, you go up and you start your board, the only way that you're ever going to follow that person that's doing really well, or even follow your team, so to speak, is to also sponsor a lot of people. And it just gets to a point where the first entry point of the 2x2 follow me systems that are out there, it gets infinitely wide, and you cannot follow your sponsor. Here, once again, these matrices are just little 2x2 boards sitting next to each other. So the big guru sponsor will come over under you, and then you'll go under them, and they'll go under you, and you go under them in parallel. So everyone's helping everyone. What you get when you join us, you get, we just opened up our 7th chat. You max out chats at 250 members. So we had 6 chats, and we're now on our 7th chat. So yeah, we are approaching about 1,500 members just in our first 6 or 7 weeks now, and growing quite a bit. And you get the private Facebook group. You get the replicated web page to share with other prospects, so you can also share and invite. Now, here's another biggie. When I first started this company, first of all, I started, having said all of what I just said, right? Even without this, the program would rock, and the program was rocking, but it wasn't rocking enough, meaning there wasn't just enough people making money fast enough for me and my liking. If you know one thing about me, I love having people make money. If you're making money, I'm making money. If you're not making money, I'm not making money. Every once in a while, sure, my example earlier on when I made 14 grand and most of my members made nothing, that's a bad example. And when you don't make money, I don't make money. I kind of made money without you making money. It's a bad place to be at. So even without this cycle assurance plan, and I'll go into it and I'll explain it briefly, and I'll also go into a couple other things, but I started this program so everyone could make money because of the 2x2 board system, solving all the problems of the matrix, and people were cycling like crazy, and they still are. I just haven't had enough time in the day to announce it into the chats, but people were cycling, like it seems like every 5 minutes. Every single time I move somebody, someone cycles, and it's so cycling is going on like crazy, and it was going on when we first started. It's been going on ever since the company was going, but there was some people got left out because there was hot zones in the 2x2 boards. Hot zones means that when a sponsor came in and sought to saw the beauty of this, got to know me a little bit, knew that it was the real deal, would bring in 10, 15, 20 people, and all of a sudden there's these hot zones that happen where they're cycling, their team is cycling, but the other people on the other boards weren't. This is why I started the cycle assurance plan, making sure, right, that everyone made money. Now, before I even started this, I still had a fail proof where in order to market it for a differentiator in the market, I said, if you don't make money in 30 days, we send your money back. Bingo. And that's what brought in so many people, because there was no risk, right? When you remove risk in any program, and what other program gives your money back if you don't make money? I'll give you a couple seconds to think about it. Let me help you. No programs. There's not one program on the internet that will give you money back in Bitcoin matrix programs. Now, there may be other programs out there, right, through PayPal, and you have to file a case and, all that crap, and you'll finally get your money back. Or if you use credit card, you can file, whatever it is, a chargeback. Bitcoin, there ain't no chargebacks. So in any Bitcoin program out there, I'm the only company, I'm the only dude on the internet that will send your money back. And trust me, I'm ecstatic when someone asks for a refund, because that's the kind of people I don't really want in my business, because they haven't spent the time to watch the webinar or even understand the program. Because right here, if they didn't ask for a refund, they would have gotten fully cycled if they're a nice person. Well, they failed in 2 regards. They weren't nice, and they weren't good studies. They didn't even know how the program ran. So that's kind of why they're not making money. They're just not owning the process. Anyway, let me go on. There's 2 options. After 15 days, you can cash out and you get a smaller payout, but you get a new spot and you get to earn again. And then option 2, you can go after 30 days, you get a full cycle, a full payout. There are, and I haven't really added some disclaimers down below, but I talk about the disclaimers in the webinar, and that's going to be good enough, because if people have an issue, I'll tell them watch the webinar, and then we'll talk about whether you get cycle assurance or not. And they start going all crazy on me. I say, send me your wallet. And I send their money back, and they're out of the program. I don't play. I'm a pretty easygoing guy, pretty nice. I do forgive and forget to a certain point. But all that anger and bitter and hate and forcefulness and threats, and no. So option one is after 15 days, it says here, paid as follows, right? So you get your original purchase back plus 50%. So this is a good way to, or just one option, right, for you to, if you have multiple boards running, you can say, okay, I'm going to pull out one of the boards on 15 days, take that money, buy a USI pack, or go into BitConnect, or do this next launch, or take my wife out or my husband out to dinner, or use it for Christmas money, whatever. It gives you the option to get your money out quicker. You don't have to sit for 30 days and wait. Because if you're not sponsoring, you're not cycling any sooner. Now, people that are sponsoring, they can cycle in a day, right? Some people say, well, how do I speed it up? I don't want to wait 15 days. I don't want to wait 30 days. Well, go sponsor some people. That's true with any program. You want to make more money? Go get other people to join you. And really all you're doing is helping them also to make more money while you're helping yourself. So example would be a $25 spot. After 15 days, you get your $25 plus half of that, which is $12, $12.50. That's $37.50. I round up to $40. So if that's a $100 spot, here's the chart to show you. Like a $100 spot will pay $150, right? So you get your 100 back plus 50% of the original after 15 days. And you get a new $100 spot. And that $100 spot can be a 15 or a 30-dayer, right? So really, if you have a little bit of money to play with, even though the average person online maybe has an extra $100 to their name because they're living check to check, and this is why I invented this program, to get you out of that rut. But if you come in with 100, 50, and 25 or whatever, you can pull one out at 15 days and leave the other two for 30. You know what I mean? You can play around a little bit and get your money working for you. Option two, the full banana. You wait 30 days. It used to be where you waited 30 days. You're like, Robert, the program's not working for me. Can I just get my money back? Sure, no problem. Send me your wallet. I still have people, come back to me even now. They literally don't even know what the program is. And I'm just all, okay, cool. Send me your wallet. Boom, instantly pay their money back. They're like, first of all, their eyes are popped out because they're like they got a friggin' refund in a Bitcoin program. Are you kidding me? It's the only program online. I can't emphasize that enough. There's no other program that will give you your money back, folks, when you put it in. You ask for your money back with BitConnect or USI, and these are reputable companies, $200 million company. They wouldn't give your money back. Anyway, some people say, well, that the reason why they do it because they're not dumb and da-da-da-da, and said no. Sorry, I was pouring more beer. So here's the payout, right? So as you move down the chart, though, the bigger money pays out just a little bit less in terms of the math because, I do like to watch cash flow. And this next page will also be talking about how this thing is evolving. And I'll be finishing up here and do a Q&A, and I'll come out of the slides and I'll talk to you a little bit more about more strategies. And it's all good because what it's doing is it's making this program last forever. And there is no forever, by the way. I hate to spoil the night. But there's very few things that last forever. But let's say it's going to last a very long time. And here it is. And now you layer in the fact that you're going to get paid at 15 or 30 days, right? The full payout. That's phase one. Most of you folks are in phase one. And you're pounding me on Facebook for your cycle assurance, and I've been paying quite a bit of people. I paid quite a bit of people today. And, you really kind of come out of phase one when, any or really all your spots that you purchased have fully cycled that first time. And now when you come into the second cycle phase, you kind of get into this realm of phase two. Phase two starts to be where, and this is still open for negotiation. If you're a really loyal, helpful team member, we have a great relationship. I'm not going to hold you to it. If you really need the money, you got to understand that I'm human. I'm a nice guy. I'm all about helping you make money. So I'm not going to be a big stickler. Once again, though, if you treat me with no respect and you treat me like I'm your employee, which I'm not, you're a privileged partner in our company. It's not a right to be a member of my company. Just because you send me Bitcoin doesn't mean you can, kick me around, right? Like a stray dog. So when you go into phase two, though, when your positions start to cycle, some people haven't even got to phase 2. The company's still too young. A lot of you folks are just cycling for your first time, and I'm paying you the full payout. And you're like, woo! And then you got all your repositions, your repurchases. Now you start to move to phase 2. Phase 2 says where if you have let's say even if it's a $200 spot and it's your second cycle now, first cycle you got 500, you got another 200 spot, you got another $100 credit. But next cycle though, when you cycle your 200, you're only going to get paid half of that, which is 400, and the other 400 is going to go back into the system. It's the only way to keep cash flow healthy enough so we can have a source of income and get to a point where you go to phase 3. And phase 3 starts to say where when you look at your total Bitcoin payments and you minus out what you've actually originally purchased in, some of these numbers are crazy, folks. Some people in this company started with like 25 or 50 bucks, and they've made like 800 bucks, starting with 50 bucks. So what would be the profit there? So if you made 800 bucks and I'm talking about when you first opened up your Bitcoin wallet and you sent $50 in, what they did is when they cycled, they reinvested that first cycle. And then they cycled again, and then they took. So they're already on, because what happened was they were in hot zones, or they brought some people in, and so when they only started with 50, but they brought some people in, and then they got into a hot zone, meaning there was a lot of people around them sponsoring, there's a lot of cycling going on. You can turn 50 into 800. Well, your profit right now is 750. You're almost into phase 3. When you get over $1,000 in profit, because once again, I want to reemphasize this, you got to look at what you originally paid into the system. Because guess what? Half of the entire company is playing with house money. All they're doing is reinvesting profits. They're not reinvesting any, their mortgage money, their rent money. They're not putting in any new money. And when you finally start to realize that, you're like, oh, yeah, you know what? Robert's right. This is kind of crazy. I only really paid $100 and I made $900. So my profit is actually $800. Right? And sometimes it happens within a month. You haven't got to phase 3 yet. But anyway, so some people have started with, let's say, more realistic. In reality is they started with maybe 200, 300 bucks, right? They bought in at a 50, a couple $100 spots, and then now they've made like 2,500 bucks. Well, they're officially phase 3. So now they have 5, 10, 15 spots on boards. And they're cycling literally every other day, every few days, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, they have their 15 and 30 days incrementally happening in all their spots. So they have money coming in every week. So what will happen is, say they have this whole week, they cycled and they've made maybe like $2,000, where you get into a weekly payout at that point. And I'll just send you the $2,000, you go off, bottle service, buy your Nikes, go Christmas shop, I'm trying to keep everyone to a point where we're all almost at a weekly residual. So what the goal is in this company, folks, is that you build up your bank. And then you just have income coming in. It's almost like an annuity to a certain degree, where you have a certain amount of money that's going to now pay you. So let's say you have a couple thousand coming in this week, and you're now in this weekly payout. Depending upon the cash flow of the company, how, once again, it comes down to, have you been active, or you're a loyal member, or you have a good relationship. At the end of the day, I have the right, just to talk to you about a future partnership together. Like hard talk, like tough love, like, you know what? I don't know if this is really working out with us. What do you mean? I love this program. And then, okay, well, it just seems like you're never around. Every time I, try to ping you, you're grouchy. Oh, well, I'm having a hard time at work. And, I really like this. You know what I mean? It has to get to that point. We almost have like this one-on-one with each other. You ever had a one-on-one with your boss at work? Right? Everyone freaking hates their boss. Everyone freaking hates one-on-ones. But at the end of the day, you have to kind of be a good citizen, a good partner. And so when it comes down to, I owe you $2,000 this week, right? What happened today? I owed someone, a fair amount of money, several people. I said, okay, well, I'm going to pay you $700 this week, and next week I'll send you another $700. Okay, no problem. Boom, send them $700. They have $700 in the bank. Guess what? All this next week, they earn another $500. Now they have $1,200 because I still owe them 7 plus the 5. They have 12. So I'll send them 8. I'll send them a little more. But at the end of the day, it gets to a point where you get incremental weekly payouts. And it's not always going to be necessarily on the same day. And why I brought up that whole diatribe about being nice and being a nice partner and all that, is because I also work with you and say, you know what, Robert, you owe me like $2,000, and I really need the money. I had to fix my car. Christmas is, can you send me like 1,000 or 1,200, and then you can send me the other 8 next week? Okay, no problem, right? If we have a good relationship, if it's like, oh, you said you pay me, I want my $2,000 right now. I want to report you to Facebook and call the SEC and the IRS and I'll just be all, wait, let's take a step back. What did you pay into the program, and what have you made? Because you're not even in a refund status, meaning that what would you complain about to people? So anyway, I don't want to go there, and it's a shame because those people ruin it for everybody. This is why we have so many problems in the world. If you just are a nice person and you participate, you follow the rules, you're going to make consistent weekly residual income for a very, very, very long time. And you can take that money and do whatever you want with it. Pay your bills, invest in other programs, and make great money. So that's kind of the slides. And now over here, I want you to begin to write like Robert Kleiber just wrote. I started with 50 and I have made over 800. And Robert did sponsor. When he first started, he was just a little bit, like, and that's true with everybody. When they first join, like, what is this program? All you do is like send your Bitcoin to this wallet address, and you come on these group chats, and you have a Google Doc, and it's like, who is this Robert guy? And all of a sudden, you start seeing the team and the motions and the Zooms and the payouts, and then you start inviting. So he started out kind of a little bit slow. He invited one person, maybe two. Now he's got like 10 or 12 people in the business. And I'll go into a little bit of some of the things because I know that most of the folks on this call are members, because that's probably why my attendance is so high, because I think I'll probably have maybe a team meeting tomorrow to go a little bit deeper, right, into the phases, how we're going to run the business, because I'm starting to think strategically a little bit around when it comes to the 2x2 board matrix system. It's pretty sweet. It's a pretty good system. It is a little bit manual, right? And some people go, why don't you automate it? Because I don't want to automate it. Because I would be like every other program, right? And you can't get in and correct stuff in software code. All these programs out there, you log in, you get in the back office, what's my username, I can't log in, oh, that person should have went there, can you move them? No, we can't. All the mumbo jumbo, I don't have any of that. So when someone pings me and says, you know what, I don't see me on that board, and I want that person. Now, I don't move people too much because the system works the way that works. But I have the flexibility, right? But with anything good in life, there's always a little bit of drawback, right? There's always some type of balance. With all good things come challenges. And the more success you have, the more responsibility you have. So what I'm getting to is that, the program's working perfectly fine. Now, what's starting to occur, and it's kind of interesting because you never know until you really get going, is that we have a lot of boards. So there's a couple biggies where, and when you come up for 30 days, and you have, let's say, 4 boards, and you're on 25, 50, 100, and you have 2 spots on the 25, 2 spots on the 50, 1 spot on the 100. So I have to search you. I get your 5 boards up. I put them up. I look at them, and you said, you know what? None of them cycled. All right, well, let's look at it. So your 225s, what I'm doing now when you're in the 2x2, sometimes you're at the top and you only need a couple people. That's kind of why you haven't cycled yet, because the company hasn't gotten those people for you. You haven't gotten those people. It doesn't really matter. But in that case, what I do is I take you and put you back down at a lower position, because now I'm getting ready to pay you out. So I don't want to belabor it too much with folks, but it's working good. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is that you're on a board, right? And there's someone up top, and you're not up top. Maybe you're in the second level or you're down below, and it's been 30 days and you haven't moved. Some people say, man, it's been 2 weeks, but the board hasn't moved, because there's 1,500 people in the company. And we have 2,000 boards, believe it or not. We have about $425 boards. We have about $350 boards. We have about $300, $100 boards. We have about $20, $30, $40, $200. You know what I mean? And so that's a lot of people to fill all those boards. That's why your board doesn't move. But you have 15 and 30 days cycle assurance. That's why I started it as well, because at the end of 30 days, I felt like, dang, they're not making money. I have to send the money back. You know what? I'm going to do something where even if they don't sponsor, you're going to make money. And so what happens is when you're in a spot and you're in your boards, what I do is I'll just put a new date next to your name. You still have the same spot, which is actually going to be a good thing, because what happens is when you finally start making money, you now reactivate that board, meaning that even in some cases, just redate your top position and you get paid out, and all of a sudden you ping a couple other people because you're actually getting paid and you're getting out of your comfort zone. You're actually starting to invite people. That board becomes hot, which means that I already paid you on it. And if you get a couple more people, you get paid again, double pay. And that's what I'm starting to look at and do for my members, but within reason, right? So in that scenario, when you have 225s, a 50 and 100, and it's all cycle assurance, first of all, it takes me like 30 minutes to do all that. Well, I'm getting it down because this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm explaining to you right now. Is I go into each of your spots and I simply right now there's no date next to your name because I wasn't smart enough. I didn't add dates. So now you don't know, I don't know. We have to go to Messenger. We have to go to Hash. We got to. Now I'm actually going one more step where you have your name with a date next to it. It still doesn't, remove the fact that you still should be time, date stamping and tracking all your positions. That's a whole other story that I'll be getting into. But what I'm doing is I'm simply your name is just a name, and I'm putting a date next to it and then paying you out. So it's already effectively cycled. You got full payout, but the position is still hot. It's still live. And it's still in a pretty healthy position in the company, meaning that you can cycle again in a fairly short period of time. And like I said, within reason, meaning if I sent you like $800 and you cycled all your boards and all of a sudden you're in spots and all of a sudden you're cycling some more, I'm not going to hold you back, because if you go out and get people and you cycle, then you've really earned it. So now you can actually earn money faster and quicker from the same spots while getting the cycle assurance. You're having your cake and eat it too. That's what it comes down to. It makes it easier for me, because what I also have been doing, because I'm a nice guy, is that I'll take a position when it's cycle assured, meaning that it's just kind of sitting there stale, and you ping me, hey, it's 30 days. I'll take your name, and you know how, over a 30-year period, 30 year, seems like 30 years sometimes, I know, waiting for Bitcoin. But after 30 days, you've moved on 2 boards over from your sponsor. So what I do is I take your spot and put them back under your sponsor and redate it, giving your sponsor the ability to cycle faster as well. So I'm doing both of those things on top of paying people at 15 and 30 days. I don't know if and then I'm at the point where I'm doing phases approach, which means that money in the bank, consistent money in the bank. I'm in USI. I've got good money coming in, but it's like you go to USI and you withdraw. It's like you need so many Bitcoin packages in you need at least 300 Bitcoin packs to make it interesting. And it's $50 a pack, 300 packs. It's 15,000. You're getting 1% a day, 150 a day. Now that's interesting. How do you get 300 packs in USI? Have 15 grand in Bitcoin and pay it. And then starting the next day, you start making $150 a day on 15 grand. But the problem is 80 to 90% of people have $100. So how did you get there? You get X4. Okay. And then when the X4 engine is running, right, then the only problem we had, and I talked about this when we first started, is time, patience. And it's only me. You think I want to be hiring 5, 10, 15, 20 people in an office and, and headsets and admins and support tickets? No. Because guess what? My whole life would just be managing people. And I'd just be all, hey, did you do that for that person? Oh, I forgot I was at lunch. BS. I'm a sole ranger, and it's working perfectly. Now, what may occur, though, in the next month or two is it will, another, idea that I have. And it doesn't impact anything because you still get paid 15 and 30 days. You still get weekly. You still get payout without any boards or cycling whatsoever. You got to remember that. Because one guy, suggested, and I haven't already been thinking about it, even though some members bring up some good ideas, is throw the boards completely out. Everyone just pays into and then waits 15 or 30 days and gets paid out. Simple, right? I don't know what I would do with all my time I'd have. Yet, that's an issue, because how would you pay people that refer more people? maybe pay them out more and quicker, right? So there's always that dilemma where leaders come in and say, okay, I want to get my fifth, I want to have $500 in Bitcoin. I want, whatever it is. I want 200 spots and $100 spot at 15 days. Boom, done. And they can just do that and go work their other businesses and yada, yada, yada. But people come in, they want to invite people and they want to, build a team. And so that's why I have the 2x2 running along. And I have the cycle insurance because most people can't recruit and most people can't benefit from recruiting. So I have it for both. So I have to look at both sides of the equation. I can't just make it like a HYIP out there that, you make 130%, a week on your Bitcoin. Then usually those things within a month, they're gone. You log in the next day and it's 404. Why? Because they just pull it off of GoDaddy and then start another site and a different name and then cash in all the Bitcoin, buy a bunch of houses and take vacations. So, that's all that world, right? That's not my world. My world is to help you make money consistently and ethically. All right, so that's a long, but you got to understand the mind. My mind, and I always try to say this, I'm always looking out for your best interest, right? Because I know that if I have your best interest in mind, and if all I do is try to help you make money, then the universe loves that. And all it does is have goodwill, good faith, and money coming my way. And then I just share. Then the more comes my way, the more I share. And the more come, the more I share. The more come, the more I share. It never ends. It's unlimited. It's exponential. As soon as you start to hoard, right? I ain't sharing it with nobody. You kidding me? I want all the money myself. Good luck with that. Okay, so more testimonies. So it's only 7 o'clock on the West Coast. So I have 4 more hours of work. So as soon as I get offline here, I have about, just so you know, just a quick update on some things, is I'm 2 to 3 days behind, folks. It is what it is. Some people, and then this is kind of a couple things I want to say about that. First of all, 2 days is nothing, right? If you have 2 days to live, that's a problem. If you have 2 days to make money finally online, that isn't a problem. Because it's either you get an instant admin that's going to steal your money, or you wait 2 days to make money, right? It's always a trade-off. So I'm hoping, though, that it isn't going to take 2 or 3 days. Now, we also have to keep in perspective what the wait is. The wait is, I just need my board link. Show me my board link. But you have to understand, as soon as you send your money, and you got to tell your people this, when you sponsor people in, and you have to tell them straight up, hey, you know why everyone's waiting? Well, first of all, it's only me, and I'm friggin' busy. But you know what the other big reason is? Because the program's hot. Everyone makes money. Everyone's making money. You ever go to a great movie? There's Jurassic Park coming out, Star Wars. And you don't buy your ticket in advance. You're waiting outside for an hour, right, in the freezing cold. You ever go to Disneyland, Disney World? You ever wait in a line there? So anything that's cool, you got to wait for it. People don't like to wait. Especially if they send their money in, man. One guy says, have I lost my money? Yeah, when you've been losing your money your whole life, you're not going to lose it here. I already tell you straight up, you're going to 15, 30 days, or you get your money back. Okay. So in reality, though, you have to tell your people, okay, hey, Barbara, hey, welcome. This is an amazing program. Hey, watch this Zoom recording, right? Just like this one's recording. You want to share them. Here, visit this website. Okay, I'm in. All right, I want the 25 and 50, all right? So you send them the wallet, and these are just kind of the steps. I didn't even go to that slide, but the steps get started can't be any easier. You just pick out what board you want to be on. You send your Bitcoin to the group wallet, and you're on. You get into the group chat, and you have your website. Done. You're already starting in 15, 30 days. And here's what I was going to say about that. As soon as you refer somebody, you got to tell them it's a couple, 2 or 3 days to get fully plugged in. Well, that's reasonable. That's not bad, right? To get fully plugged, meaning get into chat, understand the program, get your website, understand, what the heck's even going on. It takes 2 days. Get your board link. But while you wait, as soon as you pay, your earnings clock starts. Tick, 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 tick. You are making money while you're getting plugged in. Does that make sense? So there shouldn't be this mad panic, right? If you don't sponsor at least 12 to 14 people personally, you're never going to cycle. Ever. Well, when I first started, everyone was like in 1 or 2 weeks. You know why? Because we went from 1 member to 100 members in 1 day. Then we went to 300 members in 3 days. Then we went to 1,000 members in 2 weeks. So every single person that joined within the first few weeks cycled without sponsoring a soul. What happens when you have 15 people? You have the same problems I talk about. Too wide, runaway leg. So I'm trying to control that. But people ought to understand when you first join, I think that they want their board link so fast because they know everyone's making money. They want to see their board. They want to see how fast they can cycle. Right now, as people join this company, if you don't sponsor anyone, you're waiting 30 days. You may have to wait 45 days. Well, guess what? You have 15 to 30 days. That's why I put it there. So it's just a mind flip all the way around. Now, if you want to make money faster, how will you do that? People ask me, how do I speed it up? Go find other people. How many other people do you think that's online that's interested in Bitcoin that want to make Bitcoin faster? Everybody. Right? And the only reason why they ain't going to join you, you don't have a relationship with them. They don't trust you. They don't believe you. First of all, who gives a crap, right? Go find someone that you have some type of relationship with that kind of likes you. You know, the key to any type of relationship and building a network and making money long-term in life is finding people that like you, that eventually then will trust you, and then they'll become your partner. So how do you build that, right, from scratch? You don't ping Facebook and spam all the groups and expect you're going to become a millionaire because everyone else is doing that. The only way that you're really going to get to the point in your life and your career is to build solid relationships with solid people that all have the same mindset. That mindset is that they're an entrepreneur. They love turning something into nothing. They love helping people, right? They love making a difference in other people's lives. Those are the people that you build a relationship with, and then your income explodes. The programs is just the income vehicle, right? It's not the utopia. If you have 100 grand, then you can go pick out some hot programs and probably turn that into a friggin' $1 million in a couple of years without sponsoring a soul, because there's so many great passive opportunities out there. There's some that can go down in a heartbeat, so you got to be careful, but you hang out with guys like me and some other leaders that already do all the due diligence so you can make money. Okay. Let me go over here to see if we have any questions. So yeah, the other big thing, and I've been hitting on it, but I haven't hit home yet, is that, you know, everyone's making a certain amount of money right now, right? Hopefully you're making money. If you're not making any money at all, I don't know how you're living, right? It's kind of like, you know, getting back to you need money to make money. You kind of need money to live, right? So what is that? So this is getting back to goal setting, which is one of the most important things you can do is getting, because if you don't really have goals of what you want to do, where you want to go in life, how would you ever get there? And when you got there, how would you know you even got there? You know, and you got to look at, okay, how did I get to where I am now in life? You know, whether you have a high school diploma or college degree, you're working as a Starbucks barista, you work at Target, you're a truck driver, you're a nurse, and you're just coming online to make a little extra money so you can buy some more Christmas presents for your kids, right? But whatever that is, what did it take for you to get where you are in life right now? First of all, you had to figure out, okay, what the heck am I good at? What do I want to do? Oftentimes people, and you know, 80% of the people on the planet, they don't like their job. They just simply happen to land in the job that they knew that they could make some money to keep their bills paid, and all of a sudden your job equals your bills every month, right? So the point of all this is that how do you get out of that rut, right? And this is what X4 does. It transforms and gives you the opportunity to begin to structure a change plan. A change plan is where you have to set a certain guideposts. So for the next 3 months, what's your goal? How much do you want to make in the next 3 months? $500? $5,000, 10,000. I mean, you got, and then you make that goal. But the main goal is how much does it take every month to pay your bills, right? Maybe you have a husband or a wife or some other source of income coming in where it's not just you needing to make that money. Whatever it is, you have a certain nut, we call it, right, every month. So how do you get to a point where your online income can replace that nut? Because oftentimes the nut you're making, the job that you're in, it's painful. You don't like it. You do it just because you make your paycheck. You can't wait to get off work. You can't wait for the weekends. You can't wait to take vacation. You know, Gary Vee says, and if your whole life is around waiting for the weekend or waiting for vacations, your stuff is messed up. And the problem is people don't know what to do. They say 20 million jobs will be lost over the next 3 to 5 years from automation alone. So there's many people that need to switch careers or think about what the heck am I going to do? Like if you go to work and all you do is like do manual spreadsheets or you do stuff that a computer can do, count your days, right? Because all the people that run all the companies, all they're trying to do is save money. And part of what I did for 15 years when I was selling software to big companies, part of my ROI PowerPoint pitch to the executives, yeah, it's $1 million software package, but you can get rid of 3 people that cost you about $500,000 a year in salary, benefits, because the software automates and can replace them. And I felt horrible, but the owners of the business said, you know what? And sometimes they would move those employees into other departments and things so you didn't have to, but it was head count reduction. Right? So I'm not going to try to put the fear of losing your job and all this, but you have to understand the only way to replace your job is to slowly start to feed your online business. Now you have been trying to do that, but you've been losing money and you're never getting anywhere, right? It's like a constant. But this program has been designed to where you can put a little bit of your job money into this and start making, and then you have to go to more of the longer term programs as well, because Bitcoin X4 can get to a point where you get to phase 3. What'll start to happen, and this is going to take 3 months or 6 months, is that when you finally start to reinvest and you start to go to phase 3, whatever that monthly nut is, you're making $3,000 a month to live, right? Your job pays you $2,000 a month. You get to a point where you can build up with reinvesting and being a part of this program in about a 3-month period, if not a 6-month period at the outset, to get to a point where you're making just as much as your job. While you're still putting money into USI, BitConnect, now because you have money to play with, because you're still kind of working your job, you still have the money, you have extra money now to start investing even more. And before you know, you get to a point in your life where you're like, you know what, I just want to be an online entrepreneur. And you slowly just bow out of your job, or you work less hours, and before you know it, boom. And then guess what? As soon as you free up, because you get to a point in your life where you're like doing what you love to do, your money continues to go up. You know how a job, you're capped, right? You make $18 an hour, $10 an hour, $12 an hour. You get like a $1 raise every year or something crazy, right? There's no way to make more. Go get a college degree if you don't have one. And go change careers, So that's the biggest struggle. And when you come online, people come online because they hope, right, and pray that it's going to give them the opportunity to change their life and get out of their life and their money problems and the job they don't like. This is what we have here. And when you finally get to a point where you start to really dig in and start to own this process, because you really have to learn the skills of people skills, networking, and all you're doing is building friendships. I make an analogy like kindergarten. When you come to kindergarten, you're all scared, and you have to make friends for the first time, and you borrow someone's, let them borrow your pencil and start talking to them at lunch. You go out in the recess and hang out with them, and you share half of your sandwich with them. So you're building relationships, and that's exactly what you do online. You try to build relationships with strong people. This is what the Unified Bitcoin team does. We bring all the like-minded Bitcoin entrepreneurs together so we can all help each other. And the stronger that we build our relationships, and the more that we help, the more money we can make. And that's what's called leverage. Because the only way you can take $25 in Bitcoin and turn it into $6,400, some people say, oh, I haven't made my $6,400 yet. Well, this program's a scam. And they're just completely just negative and haven't done anything. But you can turn 25 into 6,400 and beyond, because what you do is it does. I never say within 30 days. I say it's on autopilot. What do I mean by autopilot? Because it can run by itself. Because all you do is take the money that you make and then buy more spots on the board and get your payout and buy more spots. But it's not instant either. So people have this. And it is what it is. It's ADD, it's ADHD. A lot of it was because of the cell phone industry and Google and the internet. because as soon as I want to buy something for my wife for Christmas, let's say it's a sweater. You go online and you can find all the sweaters you want. Boom, you buy it, and it's on your doorstep the next day. I mean, everything is instant. It's like, oh, I want to buy a car. I'll go to, let's say, cars.com. So you know what I mean. So when you go online to make money, it's like, wait a minute, why isn't it instant? Because you're building a business long term, and you have to transform your thinking in so many ways. By the end of the day, if all you do is stay positive and try to help people, you're more than halfway home. And we're here to help you along your way, right? So you can, so you don't have to make all the mistakes that I made 10, 15 years ago, knocking my head against the wall, trying to figure stuff out. I've got this down to such a simple process. The only thing that's frustrating is waiting, right? But you also need to be constructive in terms of when you're waiting for your 15 to 30 days. You need to, okay, so what can I do today, right? I'm going to go try to meet 10 new people that are in Bitcoin. I'm going to search Bitcoin. I'll even go to the Bitcoin Facebook groups. I'll figure out who's in the Bitcoin. I'll start talking to them. I'll say, hey, what are you doing? I noticed you're in that program. Hey, have you ever heard of Bitcoin X4? So you set aside a time where you begin to own that process, where all you're trying to do is find and build relationships with people like you. Another key is in social networking aspects is if you really love cooking, you really love golf or tennis, you go try to find people that love to cook or golf or tennis online, and guess what? Everyone's going to like Bitcoin, whether they don't even know how to spell it. Once they realize what the heck it is, everybody wants to be in Bitcoin. Everybody. So if you talk about cooking or tennis or golf or football or baseball with your people on your social network, and you start talking about Bitcoin, and then bingo. So this is some of the things that you can do while you're waiting for your 15 and 30 days, right? As opposed to going to the job you don't like, come online and talk about the political and religion, BS, or go and do a lot of time wasting stuff. You also got to understand that you got to harness time. Time is one of the most valuable assets that you have. Right now, I've spent over an hour and 20 minutes. Hopefully you've gotten something out of this. You're starting to get your mind thinking, because all I'm here for, I'm like when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And so most of what I've said tonight is like one ear and out the other, man. It'll be like, Robert doesn't know anything. I'm going to go online and do my spamming and I'm going to do it. And then, 6 months, a year from now, you'll look back and you know what? He said a lot of, so you weren't ready to receive. I'm just hoping that the more people see this, the more that they begin to receive it, and the more like osmosis, it starts to transform your thinking. It's so important. It's all mindset. To stay positive and to help others. Let me scroll. So what is today? Thursday. And then, so we'll have our Saturday. I may do, I don't know yet. There ain't really much to talk about. I was going to say I may do something tomorrow to talk about process, but a lot of the process is pretty clean. I think there's still some brushing up to do. The Knights are doing a great job. I think when people come into chat, there is a little bit of a delta, meaning there's a little bit of a difference between trying to get your paid members into chat so they can get involved with the buzz. So what you're doing now is you're sending the Knight, and there's 6 or 7 of them now. But when you go to chat, you can search and just do a search, Knight, KNIGHT, and it's by their name. And then so you start just ping them and message them, hey, I'm just got someone signed up. I want to get them in the chat. I'm working with Robert. Here's their hash. So that process is pretty good. And then the other thing is when just a couple days ago, someone added someone without going through that process, and the Knight got mad and they got in an argument and they left the chat and all that. So I had to go out, take time away from doing boards and sending Bitcoin to people to go talk to them and then work it out. So I think it's been pretty good overall. But what all that means is as long as you follow the certain process, and the process is when you invite somebody in, you kind of own that person. I think that we've gotten a lot better. When you sponsor somebody, you kind of own that relationship with them, and you introduce them to the Knight. You share the hash. They get plugged into the group chat. Then you get them over and connect them with Will Henderson, or there's several other folks, Aaron Herrera. I think Orville's still doing it. There's a few others. The Knights will also give you the form to fill out in terms of getting your referral page. Then you get added to Facebook group. Just recently this week, I added a couple Knights as moderators of the Facebook group, enabling them to start to approve. We only have about 180 people pending still. We have only about 600 or 700 people in the Facebook group. We have about 1,400 members, so there's about 700 people that are not in the Facebook group. Even though the Facebook group is just where I post, here comes the Zoom, here's some content that you can share, you know what I mean? So it's not like, earth-shattering. Where the action is in the group chat. The group chat, and I may even actually need to refresh the training, but at the end of the day, group chat is designed primarily to share the results of the company, which, my bad, I've been a little lack in posting cycles. So here's where I was at. First of all, I've been so busy I haven't been able to copy and paste and put it into 7 chats. My computer's not that fast for some reason. It's a brand new computer, but it's like it takes 15 minutes and sometimes to post something in 7 chats. Sometimes when I'm doing now a voice message real quick as I go to the gym. I didn't even go to the gym yesterday or today because I've been so freaking busy. Yesterday I did go and got my hair cut, and I went for an eye appointment. I still need my glasses. I drove over my glasses a couple months ago, so but when I go out now, I'm leaving a voice message, and then with my phone on Messenger, with my cell phone, I can send it to all 7 chats pretty quick. And so I encourage everyone, that's the one way. It's kind of like Trump with Twitter, right? The only way that he can really get the real news out is through Twitter, because all the friggin' fake news and all the other people that hate his guts. I'm not very political, and Trump, he's a great businessman. He's turned the economy around, that's for sure. But that's why I use this voice message now that I send into the group chat. So I'm hoping that when you finally get off work with a job you don't like, and you're trying to replace your income, and you're trying to learn how to build a business online, which is really just networking, sharing, and inviting, and getting into a program with a team and leveraging your Bitcoin up, and then consistently investing your Bitcoin so you can make more money long term. You go into chat, hopefully, and you somehow you queue up, or you can see what I don't understand about chat is when I send a voice message, let's say 3 o'clock when I'm at the gym, and I say, hey team, it's Robert. I haven't fell off the face of the earth. I'm 2 days behind on adding people and getting them board links and sending you your cycle assurance and your payouts. I'm going to the gym so I don't have a heart attack. And love you guys. Talk to you soon. Boom. I send the voicemail. I don't know, like 5 hours later when you finally go into Facebook, right, and you log in and you see chat, do you see that voice message, or is it like 45 miles up in the queue? But what I'm finding is at least it's a way for me to automatically or communicate with everybody. Because the big problem, this is why I'm doing my Zooms 3 times a week. Mostly it's for prospects that are thinking about, why would I want to join this company? But it's another way to try to get the word out to people. But it's very hard online. It's one of the biggest challenges. That's why I love Facebook and social media, is where it all gets centralized. We all come together. And that's what the chats are so important, and these Zooms are so important, is we come together collectively to understand what's going on in the company, so you can get fired up and go share it with other people. But the only way to communicate, because what happens is I do a post in the Facebook group, out of 1,400 people, like 100 people see it. Then I do a post in the chat, out of 1,400 people, 100 people see it. I do a Zoom. I only have 112 people right now watching the Zoom, and I have 1,400 members. Where are the other 1,300? Watching Thursday Night Football? Right? Or they're on Facebook and they don't even know the Zoom is, even though they've been a member for like a month, and it's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and they still don't even know that. They haven't watched the Zoom, so they don't even know about cycle assurance, so they're just waiting so they can ask for a refund. Anyway, I digress. But the only way for me to communicate with you guys and give you updates, because I also, what all that was about, is that tomorrow if I do like this team meeting, right, I'm going to have 100 people show up. And then the message, the hard part is right now I'm preaching to the choir. All the people that are attending are really my leaders, or the people that really want to learn. They want to change their life. They love getting together and watching, and hopefully you're learning something from me. And I try to teach. I do. If you watch these things 3 times a week, I do repeat content, even though if you ever go see a comedian and you happen to go see him and like a week later or a month later, he says all the same jokes. But for the new people that are in the audience, they never heard them. So when you go to Tony Robbins and spend 10 grand, if you actually spend another 10 grand and go back that month later, you're just going to share the same content. It's still great content. So, but in order to communicate, though, is one of the biggest and the hardest parts, is to keep people updated. But really, at the end of the day, this program is so simple. And that's the thing. We've got to keep it simple. All we want to do is connect and share and invite. And then the only other challenge is getting people plugged in and getting people their administrative stuff, right? there, plug them into chat, which should be pretty easy. Plug them into getting their referral link, get them into Facebook group, get Robert to finally send them the board link, and then get them active in terms of trying to get out and post things on your timeline or into Facebook groups, get it into chat to where you can like and comment and share. I don't know if most of you people watching know the whole juice thing. It's very important for Facebook is to get engagement, where when you post an ad on Facebook, if you're not getting likes and comments on your stuff, and you know how that is, right? You do a post and on your timeline, and you come back a day or two later and you realize that there's like no one that's liked or commented because there's just not enough value being built up over time. You want to make sure when you post in your timeline, you post interesting articles, you post pictures of yourself, you become a likable person that has some value. And then when you finally post something, of a program, you get some engagement. Now, the only way to kind of artificially, inject it with some engagement while you're working with the team is to post that timeline out into the group so we can go out 100, 200, 300, 500 of us and like and comment it. And then the people, your prospects, are seeing it, because what happens is when you have 4,000 friends and you post something on Facebook, only about 2% see it. 2% of 4,000 is what? And that's probably even high. 10% is 400. So about 100 people see it. 4,000 friends, you do a timeline post, hey, this is the greatest program ever. 100 people see it. And it's 100 people that probably already seen all your other programs that you've been in. You've been in 32 programs and probably, lost in them all. That's why there's no likes or comments. Now, if you have posts with our team, with Bitcoin X4, first of all, there's so many friggin' testimonies and the program is so hot, it's like falling off a log. You're going to get people pinging you, and you don't even know, like I do all day long. But what I'm saying is when you post something, you post it and share it into the chat, we go out, we start liking and commenting as a team, and all of a sudden, instead of 100 people seeing it, 500 see it. Because Facebook says, wait a minute, what is going on with this ad? There's a lot of people liking and commenting it. And they're logarithmic, and their algorithm is not smart enough to know that that person is just doing it because they're doing it to help the team member out. What does that mean? It means free advertising. How does Facebook make their money? Advertising. How do you go from getting an ad in front of 100 people to 10,000 people? Pay Facebook $500, right? And you better be pretty targeted, because that $500, you might as well go in the bathroom and flush it down the toilet. But when you're truly engaging with your market and you get a following, a few thousand to follow me, I have, maybe 1,000 or 2 on YouTube. And how do you build that up? You just keep helping people, doing the right thing. Help people come together as a team, pick the hot, juicy programs, help them make money, and you get a following. And before you know it, you get to a point where you start to earn, and remember back here, your job and the money you make online, right? Starts to go like this. And you can get to a point where you're like, I don't really like my job, but I really like making money online and building relationships. Bitcoin fees. I just read about local Bitcoins. I sent a Bitcoin payment to BitPay today for like $50. They charged me $9 fee. So it's just funding my card real quick to pay a bill or something stupid. I sent $50 to my BitPay card, and it was $59. $9 in fees. Why? It goes up, and they already. What happens is in most wallets, they figure out the optimized miner fee. It's what the market is calling for. So it's like it's optimization. The reason they're doing it, and then with blockchain, you notice there's regular, and you drop down to priority. If you're sending anything with blockchain, you better just take the hit and go priority, because you could wait 2 days, folks. And in fact, your payment could get, there was a point where back, it was in August before the hard fork, we were waiting 2, 3, 4 days for Bitcoin payments to go out of blockchain. And you had to go in through this one service, and I actually paid an extra $15 per transaction. And what it does is it wakes the miners up, and they go into and they find your transaction in the blockchain, and they unlock it for you. They do the computation, they mine it, they get their reward, which is your $15 you pay them, and then they free the transaction. It's pretty crazy. Everyone's needs about dollar. So yeah, local Bitcoins can be very high, but then other you have to just kind of search. So that's why it's so important to work with like an X4 is that, like for me, I haven't bought Bitcoin in 2 or 3 years. Never needed to. I originally bought Bitcoin and then just leveraged the Bitcoin into a lot of Bitcoin. Now I just make it and spend it, right? So when new people come in and like, wait, what's Bitcoin? They have to suffer the consequences. It's like, first of all, you're a year late. Nah, I mean, we still have years and years and years. I'm not going to say that, but you need to find a broker. So the easiest way is to go into like Coinbase, set it up, get verified, add a credit card. There's Uphold, there's SpectraCoin. It's not a lot out there. There's Gemini. They make it kind of hard. And that's kind of why the price is going up too, because it's so freaking hard to get a hold of. It's supply and demand. When you finally get a hold of it, you want to buy even more. Okay. I don't have a board link. Just happy to wait. Who's Roger Tell? See, Roger, I don't even know you, so that's why you don't have a board link. Or you're number 282 on my messenger right now asking for a board link. And the board link is just a picture of your 2x2. And it's like watching paint dry, right? It's like, is the paint dry yet? Let me touch it. If you're not sponsoring and recruiting, your board is just going to sit there. That's why I started 15 and 30 days, folks. So you can make money without sponsoring, so you can finally feel like how it feels to make money. And then guess what happens? You start going, wait a minute, I actually made money. And if I actually go and share this with other people, I'm going to make even more money. Bingo. Your whole mindset shifts. And now you become a relationship builder, a networker. And if you don't really want to own that process and be in love with that process, it's probably one of the most rewarding things. I mean, building relationships in life, it's one of the keys to success is having relationships. Because at the end of the day, if you're some big rich millionaire and you have no friends and no family, what fun would that be, right? So when you finally get to the point where you're rolling and you have friends and all you're doing is building a big network, your money just goes through the roof. It's no longer about the money, right? It's about building relationships and helping and giving. And then that's when the shift happens. Okay, so I will end up here. I don't want to go too much long. I'm usually at 90 minutes and I start to go too much. And then I'm going to be working for the next 3 or 4 hours. I do have to sleep. Oftentimes when I'm asleep, you guys are awake. It's funny. It's like 10:30 at night. I've been working for 14 hours straight. Hey, good morning. It's like Nigeria or Australia. It's like, good morning, dude. I'm like going to bed in 5 minutes. What do you need? Oh, I just need my board link. Oh, okay, here you go. No, I need to be cycle assured. All right, give me 10 minutes. Let me see where you're at. Oh, change your date. Give me your wallet. Boom, bang, boom. The other biggie I'm finding, it's not that big of a deal, is when you finally cash in, you're not really sure what to do with your money. And this is why phase 2 is there. Before you know it, you ain't going to have a choice. It's 50-50. No matter what you make, it's 50% is going back in the program, and you get to play with the other 50%. But even when that happens, when I have $500 I'm going to pay you right now. You get $250. And you get $250 back in the program, because that $250 that's going back in the program is for your own good. Because that $250 is going to turn into like $3,000 in the next month or two. If you took that $250 and went bottle service, went out to eat with it, what's that $250 going to turn into? An empty stomach in about 8 hours, right? This is why you got to use the power of money, the power of leverage. So half your money, you got $250. But so what I was going to get there is that when people cycle their 25 spot, they have 75. They're still having a difficulty of, okay, so you automatically get a spot, whatever board you cycled on. That's a given. That doesn't go away. Then you just have the profit to play with, and then you have to just tell me real succinctly, okay, I want to buy another $25 board and send me 50. In that case, you'll have two 25s and I'll send you 50. A lot of times people will buy with the 25 cycle. They'll do, you automatically get a 25 board, so you have $75 left over. They'll take a 50 and go get a 50 spot, and I send them 25. That seems to be a pretty good start, because what happens is in 15 or 30 days, you now have that 25 and 50 spot cycling. And then just times it by 100 by some people that are really kind of working the program. They have 18 to 25 boards, and they put in $500, and now they're on phase 3, right? And they're going to be getting paid $700, $800 a week for the foreseeable future. But hey, would you rather get paid $700 a week or get paid nothing and lose all your money? Right? Kind of tough choice, right? Okay, I got to run. I got to go help you guys. Kevin Hicks turned $25 into 2,600. Kevin, that 2,600 probably going to be 10 grand by mid-February. Just letting you know. And that's the power of this things, folks. And see, Kevin started about a month ago. He started a little slow. Then he started to bring the people in. He's probably sponsored 15, 20 people, maybe a little higher. But see, he started like in October, and I'm talking about February, where he can take 25 and turn it into 10 grand. What is that, 3-4 months? You're like, that ain't too bad, because guess what? His 10 grand now is earning him, it'll start to earn him $700-800 a week, right? In perpetuity. That's where you need to get. You are now a partner, and you start to become, and you start to build your annuity up. How you do that is go out, you still need to block and tackle and execute each day, because the only way that you can collapse that 4 months, how do you take 25 to get to 10 grand? How do you collapse it to 3 months? How do you collapse it to 2 months? Take immediate action, and you start inviting as many people as you can. Now, I'm starting to control a little bit the flow of new members. Some people are bringing in people a little bit too fast. I say, whoa, 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 whoa. Take a deep breath, Ace. We're not going anywhere. So we have to kind of pace it. But what I'm saying is you're in control now of your future. The pot at the end of the rainbow, it's in sight. Let me put it that way. Just don't screw it up. Very, very bad to be mean and rude and impatient with Robert. Very, very bad, Jetty. I try to turn people, because oftentimes a grouchy person can turn into a really, they're just grouchy because they've had a effed up life, right? And then people treat them like dirt. They've lost all their money. They finally come to the promised land. They finally come to rock. They're still a little broken, right? They're still a little mad and angry, and then they finally go, oh, Robert, you're a nice guy. Yeah, I'm so thankful I met you. And all of a sudden, see, we're all good people, right? At the core. At least I believe we are. I mean, good always wins over evil. Evil can rear its ugly head and come out of nowhere and ruin people's life pretty quickly, hence all the freaking disasters and all the other crap that's happened this year. We won't go there, but ultimately good always prevails, right? If you watch Star Wars, let the Force be with you. Force always wins, folks. And the negative Force, right, Darth Vader and all that, they try to, it's like, nah, Luke and the Force and Yoda always wins. Okay, so let me, patience is a virtue. And, it's also Einstein, eighth wonder of the world, compound interest, compound reinvestment, compounding your money. You not only compound your money to make more money, but the only way that it can compound and make more is by leveraging a network and being together with like-minded folks, all working together in unison to power up the money. You ever did this thing where you put your fingers underneath the person's knees, and there's like 4 people, and you sit in the chair and you can't lift them, but then you put all the hands on top of the head? I don't know if you've ever done this, but this is kind of like when you finally get together as a team, you can leverage up and start to earn that type of money. There's no other way to do it, folks. Right? You can go try to start a business. Good luck with that. 80% of businesses fail within 2 years. But the only way is to come together as a team and work together, and then you can leverage a small amount of Bitcoin into a large amount of Bitcoin, and then leverage up from there. Okay, so let me. I gotta head out, and I'll be online. I appreciate you guys' time. I'll get the recording out on YouTube. I better warn my son. He's so funny. Oh, I was going to tell you, and I'll be telling people on Facebook tomorrow, he's launching his first game, Phantom Jump. He graduated with a computer gaming degree, and he has just spent the last 14 months building this game, and it's going to go out tomorrow. So I'll start to, it's on Steam, and I'll start to share it on social media. So if you guys feel like computer games while you're waiting for your 15 and 30 days, you're in between networking and building a business, I would love to have some people take part in that thing. It's a pretty cool game. It's kind of like, it's really unique where you have to jump through things. It's like 42 levels, 5 bosses, and it's a kind of a new thing where when you jump, you charge up to jump again. So it's pretty sick. All right. Thanks, guys. So I'm here to help. Now, just I'll end up and make sure you spread the word that Robert is here. He's not going anywhere. I mean, during the holidays, I'll still be here. I'll be with my family. I'll be on my cell phone, but I'll be helping people every 1 week doing their cycling. But what I was going to say is I'm about still 2 to 3 days behind, folks, on everything. So if you send me a message, here's the last kicker, and I'll end the meeting. If you send me a message, don't wait 36 hours for me to respond, because it will be 36 hours. Every 2 to 4 hours, you send me a reminder. Now, to the sake of, not driving me insane, but what happens is you bump up, you bump up, you bump up. If you send me a message and wait 2 days and you're like, why hasn't Robert gotten back to me? Because you haven't reminded me, because I'm 2 to 3 days behind. So if you don't remind me in every 4-hour increments, especially if it's important, how else are you going to get me? You don't wait 2 days, because I am 2 days behind. You know what I mean? It's like the law of gravity right now. There's no way around it. But if you're waiting just for a board link, it's not the most important thing. You should be out networking and sharing and getting more people in. Don't worry, because if you go sponsor 3, 4, 5 people, where are they going to go? On your board. Right? Your board's empty right now. Where else are they going to go? Even if you look at your board, every single minute for the rest of for the next 2 weeks. Oftentimes, it's not going to change until you go sponsor somebody, and then it'll change. All right, peace.